I'll tell you what, I did not really feel like playing Firebase Z today. But that's the whole point of the wheel, is to force me to play maps that I would have otherwise just passed right by. I have like a really weird love-hate relationship with Cold War zombies. Cold War as a game is cool. I mean, overall, it's actually like pretty good. The campaign was a lot of fun. Multiplayer was rough on launch, but eventually became one of my favorite COD multiplayers. It was just so arcadey and like, it was a lot of fun. And then the zombies mode at launch, people were hyped. Objectively, I still think D Machine is actually like a really effective, really good map. But Firebase Z, I don't know about that one. Cold War Zombies is like it's a really weird entry in the Treyarch Zombies legacy, because you have a different lead director for this game, right? Obviously, Jimmy Zielinski has been gone a long time. Jason Blundell, this is the first COD Zombies that he didn't direct. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Kevin Drew was like the lead director for all of Cold War Zombies. So it has a very interesting art direction, story direction, gameplay design, and stuff like that. It's a very, very different Zombies title. Still has that arcadey fun. You can see a lot of like Black Ops 4 elements in here. Like, for example, that max ammo I just picked up, it refills what's already in the magazine. This is a shotgun, so it's really just the tube. But you have really weird things like an icon telling you where to go, what to do. I definitely do kind of miss that like figure it out aspect. I know it definitely made it far more challenging and less approachable for more people, but there was something satisfying about either figuring it out yourself, or if you did happen to go on YouTube to look up how to pack a punch and you figured out how to do it, then you would remember for next time and you would come back, and there's some satisfaction about just like running around with a very limited HUD, no direction, getting to do what you want, and either completing an Easter egg or getting to a high round. This game felt the need to kind of like put objectives everywhere. I don't know if they really got the idea behind challenging Easter eggs, easy Easter eggs. Like, there certainly are some like side Easter eggs that are still unsolved, I'm pretty sure. And all the side Easter eggs are kind of like figure it out on your own type of objectives. But the main objectives, while some of them can be challenging, the game just kind of tells you what to do. And I don't know if I really like that. I'm sure a lot of people are on my side about this, but I don't know. It's just kind of my own opinion of the game. Gameplay is super fluid. It's super smooth. It's awesome. A lot of fun. Just the maps were really kind of lackluster. But that's my own personal take, you know. But I'll tell you what, COD is in a really weird state right now. I think they're almost experiencing an identity crisis. They don't really know what to do with the IP. They're making a lot of money from like bundles and Warzone, but they're not really sure where to go, because it sounded like we were going to get some year 2 content, but now it seems like that's been scrapped. We're getting a full-fledged premium title, Activision calls it, and the rumors and leaks say that Sledgehammer are the lead developers behind this title. Now, of course, you shouldn't really trust leaks. Sometimes they actually are accurate, but it feels like most of the time they're very inaccurate. But speaking of leaks, there was that Treyarch leak that happened a little while ago. I don't know if it was a couple of weeks or a couple of months, but supposedly the game title leaked and kind of the setting that we were gonna be in. I don't know where the source comes from. I don't know if it was very reliable. My assumption is that it probably wasn't. Of course, with that title, we're definitely gonna get zombies. Because I mean, Cold War Zombies was extremely successful. I think it was technically more successful than Black Ops 4 Zombies. And part of that is because the maps were free, right? Of course, when you put content out there for free and people are bored looking for something to do, people are gonna play what you put out. So Cold War Zombies inherently was more successful than Black Ops 4. But Black Ops 4 had a huge asking price, right? Full $60. Season Pass. One of the maps classified you can't even get without the Season Pass. And then Cold War, just all the content was free, which is a super huge positive, right? Like, say what you want. Free content is always great. But no, it's like a really weird time to be a COD fan, because we have this like Microsoft acquisition of Activision that's trying to go through. I guess it's actually been blocked in the UK. Of course, an acquisition like that can't exactly go through if the entirety of the UK is blocking said acquisition. I don't really know why. I was briefly reading in about it, and I don't know all of like the finite linguistics of knowledge here. I'm just making up words at this point. But when it comes to like the legality of what's going on, I don't really know all the details. I know that the UK is blocking said acquisition because of some weird thing. Like, they seem to believe that if a game can't be accessible through cloud gaming to allow people who do not have a console to play, then the game shouldn't be acquired. And Call of Duty is a very poor example of good cloud gaming because it's very fast paced fast-paced multiplayer shooter, which you can't really get. A cloud gaming, I don't really know what's going on. This is just briefly what I was reading. It seems to be a very complicated way of like Sony paying off the UK government to block this acquisition. That's what it feels like anyway. I don't know if that's true, of course. But Sony has seriously been pushing against Microsoft acquiring Activision because they're worried that they're going to make COD platform exclusive, which of course Microsoft has said will never happen. There's no reason for them to if 50% of their player base is on PlayStation. The amount of money that they would lose by doing that is absurd. But really it just comes down to Sony wanting all the money for themselves and not wanting to share with Microsoft. Because you have those like little exclusive skins and stuff, things that they think are like console sellers. Listen, if you're buying a PlayStation 5 to get a PlayStation exclusive skin for Call of Duty, may I suggest you buy a PlayStation 5 for Uncharted 4 or something else? I try to play other games that aren't just zombies. As a matter of fact, I do play a lot of games that aren't zombies. I stream them on Twitch from time to time. Link in the description, if you know what I mean. Why did I say that? But yeah, over there I've been trying to, because one of my biggest passions is actually claiming platinum trophies for games that I love. And so right now over on Twitch, I'm going through Horizon Zero Dawn, which has been a ton of fun. It's super good. And then I have a couple of platinums that I'm grinding in my own time that's outside of videos, outside of streaming. The one I'm working on right now is actually the new Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which has been getting some great reviews from critics, but seems to be getting really bad reviews from like just regular fans. I guess they're saying that the performance issues of the game are horrendous and make the game unplayable. I'll tell you what, I'm playing on PlayStation 5. Obviously, I'm trying to get the platinum trophy, but my experience with the game has not been as bad as everyone else seems to be making it out to be. That doesn't mean I've had hiccups. I mean, I'm playing in performance mode and it does often dip down to 30 FPS, which obviously is kind of foolish considering it's a performance mode, but the game is still well playable. I'm also really enjoying the story. Like, there's a ton of content. There's a couple hundred collectibles to get, which of course those collectibles are involved in the platinum trophy. So I'm sure there's going to be a ton of tedium when it comes to getting all of those. But besides that, I'm genuinely enjoying my time with that. And again, that's a game I've just kind of been enjoying on my own time. Horizon Zero Dawn is the game that I'm streaming trying to get the plat for. And it genuinely is a huge amount of fun. Not just the game, but also like being live, hanging out with chat, just playing the game casually, getting trophies. If you'd like to come hang out, we always have a ton of fun over there. But I also stream here on YouTube. Because I do zombies, I stream zombies here. That way I'm able to keep the content separated. So if you'd be interested in joining one of those zombie streams, be sure to subscribe to get notified when one of those goes up. But nah, like the whole gaming industry is in such a weird state right now. Like everything's just about money. It's not about making good games anymore. Super frustrating. I was really kind of hoping that Microsoft would be able to do something with the IP. I was really hoping that, you know, Call of Duty might get saved from the greedy hands of Activision, that we would actually get some good content and lots of it. But they were talking about putting COD on the Nintendo Switch and a bunch of other platforms that like COD had previously never been on. And I know a lot of people had concerns about that because they were worried about graphical fidelity going down so that it can like actually run on the Switch, and then there's less work for them to do in porting to different consoles. So you would lose slight graphical fidelity on Xbox and PlayStation, and then because of that, there wouldn't be a whole lot of work going into making it run on Switch because the fidelity is already fairly low anyway. And that I can get, but also it's not all about graphics, right? I mean, Black Ops 3 is like one of the best CODs I've ever played. Campaign-wise, not so much, but multiplayer, it was the best advanced movement game, I think. It obviously is the best zombies Treyarch has ever done, especially if you play on PC because you have access to custom maps and all kinds of stuff. But no, I don't know what's going on in the world of gaming. I like to stay up with as much as I possibly can, but it gets challenging with all this ridiculous news like the UK blocking the acquisition for whatever reason it actually is. At the end of the day, I mean, I can't really speak for everyone else, but I just want a good zombies mode. That's all I want, man. I don't care about accessibility for cloud streaming or Nintendo Switch or PC or performance issues, or I just want a great zombies mode. Cold War gameplay with Black Ops 3 maps. That's all I'm asking for, man. But either way, Firebase Z, not my favorite Cold War map, not my favorite map by any means, but the wheel made me play it.